So we are going to do some further examples on the triangle angle sum problems on. So we are going to do a couple more examples of the triangle angle sum problems on Delta Math. So as you can see here, we have the notes and we are going to review that the angles in a triangle have a sum of 180. That means that the three angles added together add up to 180. Green angle, purple angle, blue angle, green angle, purple angle, blue angle, they add up to 180 degrees. Now, in Delta Math specifically, there are two types of problems that we're going to work on, and those are example 2, which say solve for x. So in this case, again, I do each angle as a distinct different color, right? And I know that I add all three colors up. I add all the three colors up to equal 180 degrees. So one green, one blue, and one purple. So I did 4x plus 60 plus 80, and we know they add up to 180, so equals 180. I combine like terms here, 60 and the 80, which is 140. I move 140 over. I subtract 140, which is 40. I divided by 4, and I got x equals 10. So let's do an example similar to that on what it looks like on Delta Math, which is the top example here, right? So the top example says, at the end is the question, what is the value of x, right? So just like this example 2 here, this says solve for x. This one says what is the value of x, but the question is asking the same thing, find x, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the triangle. So in triangle ABC, so I know I have triangle A, B, C, okay? It's going to give me the measurement of each angle. So here, again, see, each angle has a measurement, right? So here, it gives me, on the example, it gives me the angle, the measurement of each angle, right? So angle A is 2x minus 13. So it's not just a single number, but it's two terms. So angle A would be here, is here, and it's 2x minus 13. Angle B is 2x plus 15. B is up here, so I say 2x plus 15. And then angle C is 7x minus 9. 7x minus 9. Now from there, I can do exactly what I did on the example here, right? Where each angle here is represented by a different color. So I'll do the same thing here. So I'll make A purple. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, what colors you choose for what, as long as the three angles are the three colors that I see in the notes, right? So I have my purple, I have my green, and I have my blue. Three different angles. And remember, all three colors, I add them up to equal 180 degrees, right? So to make it easier for me, so I know I have to add all three things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easier for myself, and I'm going to add the x's first. So I want to do the x's first. I'm going to combine all the x's. So I look at angle A, and I see I have 2x here. So I'm going to start with 2x plus, remember I'm adding. I did A already, which is 2x. Angle B is another 2x. So plus angle C is 7x. So I have all the x's down of all three. Now I'm going to do the regular numbers, the regular terms, the regular integers, excuse me. So I'm going to start with A again, and I have a negative 13, so I'm going to say minus 13. And I'm going to go to B now, and I'm going to say plus 15. And I'm going to go to C now, and I have a minus 9. And remember, since it's 3 triangles, they equal to 180. Okay, so here, we're going to combine like terms. Now, the reason why I did the x's first is to have them all lined up together. So I'm going to combine all 3 of these like this. So I'm going to take them 2 at a time. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 4 plus 7 is 11x. So I took care of the x's. Now I'm going to take care of the regular numbers. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to combine these 3 here, right? So a negative 13 plus 15 is positive 2. Positive 2 minus 9 is minus 7. Now remember, use your calculator. Use your calculator. Negative 13 plus 15 minus 9 is a negative 7. Okay? Now remember, I want to get my x by itself. So I'm going to take this minus 7 and I'm going to cross out minus 7 and bring it over to the 180. But when it comes over, it becomes plus 7. So I'm going to add 180 plus 7 is 187. Now here, I still have my 11x. So this is 11 times x, so I cross it out, and the opposite of the inverse of multiplying is dividing. So 187 divided by 11 is 17. And this is my final answer. Now this says, what is the value of x? I found the value of x. How much is x? X is equal to 17. There you go. Now, the second example that you're going to see on Delta Math, and these are the only two types of problems you're going to see, is like example 3. So let's take a look here. So example 3 here says find the measure of angle A, right? This is angle A. And we have angle A, angle B, and angle C. Now in this case, angle A is 4x. Find the measure of angle A. We want to know how much, what is the value of A, right? What number? 4x is not a degree, it's not a measurement. So we need to find what it is. So we did the exact same steps that we did up here. Each angle gets a color, green, blue, and purple, right? And we know that green plus blue plus purple is equal to 180. If you add all 3 angles, they add up to 180. So I added all 3 together to make 180. I did the x's first, 4x and 6x, plus 120. I moved 120 over and made it minus 120. 180 minus 120 is 60. 4x and 6x gave us 10x, which is there. 10 times x, I crossed out 10, and I moved it over and became the inverse of multiplying is dividing by 10, which gave me 6. Now remember though, this is not like example 2 where it says solve for x. It says find the measurement of angle A. Well, if I look at angle A here, it's 4 times x. 4 times x. So angle A is equal to 4 times x. Well, I know what x is. X is 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. And that's my answer. So I'm going to do the same thing on the next example here on the samples of Delta Math. So again, I have to draw my triangle where it says in triangle CDE. So I'm going to draw my triangle CDE. Okay. Then it says measure angle C is 2x plus 11. So C is 2x plus 11. D is 9x plus 13. 9x plus 13. And angle E is x plus 0. So E is x plus 0. Now, this particular problem says find, measure angle C. So this one is like example 3 of the notes, right? Example 3 of the notes. Now, in example 3, it says find the measure of angle A. Well, in this example, it says find, measure, M is measure, angle C. So we're doing the exact same thing, right? So let's start off again with doing our colors. So this is purple. Okay, I'm going to make this one blue, and I'm going to make this one green here. Now, it doesn't matter which you make which color, right? I just want you to know the distinction between all three. So I'm going to add all three together to add up to 180. So I'm going to start with the x's first. So C here is 2x plus D here is 9x plus E here is just x, or a 1x, right? An invisible 1x. So I have the x's out of the way, and now I'm going to do the regular numbers. So I start with C again, plus 11. D is plus 13. And E is plus 0. Equals to 180. So I'm going to combine all my like terms. Now, I have all my x's together, so I can combine my x's. 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. 12x. Now I do these three here. 11 plus 13 is 24. 24 plus 0 is 24. A positive 24. Now I want to move this positive 24 over to this side. So the inverse of plus 24 is minus 24. And 180 minus 24 is 156. And I still have my 12x. So, since that says 12 plus x, 12 times x, excuse me, I have to do the inverse and divide by 12. So I'm going to cross out 12 here, and I'm going to divide by 12. So I get x is equal to 13. Now remember though, this is like example 3. This is not find the x or solve for x. This is find, measure angle C. So which one of these three is angle C? Is it purple, blue, or green? Well, it's purple, right? Measure angle C. So I say to myself, angle C is equal to 2x, but instead of x, I already know what x is. 2x, 2 times x. Instead of x, I'm going to write a parentheses and I'm going to write 13 plus 11. Can't forget to do plus 11. Now 2 times 13 is 26 plus 11. And finally, that's going to give me 26 plus 11 is 37. So angle C is equal to 37 degrees. And there we go. Right? And those are the two types of examples you're going to see on Delta Math. You're going to see the top one that says find what is the value of x. And you're going to see the bottom one which says find, measure, angle, whatever angle they're trying to have you find.